Right.
Oh, yeah, football.
Right? Football. Football happened this week, guys. Football happened this week. I can't believe we're here to talk about week 1. I can't believe it. The Bears.
Made it.
The Bears happened this week. The Bears happened this week.
For 15
Hold on, we'll
minutes.
get to that. We'll get to that. The Bears won. First of all, it's a dub. That's the first thing that matters. It's a dub. Okay. All right. But we here. Mama, we made it, right? We made it.
Didn't see it coming for a little bit there. So, yeah.
Man, what a glorious weekend. What a glorious weekend. What a glorious weekend.
Dub's a dub. I feel dirty about it. Don't feel clean.
We'll get to that dirty feeling in a little bit, Truth. We'll get to that dirty feeling. But let me intro us real quick. Welcome back, everyone, to the Squad Pod. Yeah, I like that. That sounds good. The Squad Pod. Yeah, hey. Welcome back, everyone, to the Squad Pod. We got everybody here today. You got your man's on the ones and twos, Professor, as always. We got over to my right. I don't know what it looks like to everybody else, but we got DGB here as well. What's going on, Derek? Then we got
and the special guest.
We got Porky here. Porky
Yes.
here is
We got Porky and Sausage Link available.
Sausage Link.
Yeah.
And then we got my man Truth. Truth is here as well. I think that's enough for the intros. Let's get straight into it, guys. Man, what a wonderful, glorious weekend of the National Football League. Man, it was amazing.
Beautiful.
It was amazing. But yeah, no, we had an absolutely glorious weekend of football, and it was a okay game of the Bears. A okay Bears game, right? That's the best way to put it. I don't really know how to listen. Like I said in the beginning, it was a dub. So hey, but let's start there. Let's start with the Bears, and then I guess we can talk about the rest of the football league. Since the squad Chicago, we mainly talk about Chicago, right? So let's start with the Bears. Feelings, people. How are we? I don't know if we should talk about the whole game or just the fourth quarter. Like, how do we want to break this down?
The parts that actually matter, right?
The parts that actually matter, right? Fourth quarter is that's when I turn the TV on. Hey, that's the Bears look like a Super Bowl team to me. But okay, thoughts.
Stop.
Reaction,
you say that every
feelings.
year. You say that every year, bro. No, stop it. No. I ain't for that. It was ugly. It was an ugly game up until the fourth quarter, and then Mitch performed. Mitch performed with his receivers, and let's be real, it wasn't even Robinson. It was Miller that made the big plays, and like I said it before a while ago, y'all gave me shit, but I said Miller is just as much as a receiver one as A-Rob, and that dude showed it. He saved us in that game, 1,000%. Fuller, the defense with the pick, and of course, and then after that, like the TD, but like that man pulled out for us for sure.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was Mitch. Like Mitch was putting those passes in those places where people can't reach it, or the defender can't reach it every time. So that was impressive. And like, give him enough credit. Maybe he has been killing it in the off season. It showed in the game really, and like there's just a lot of drops, but that was the clutchness that we needed from Miller, and I didn't see it from Robinson, but we still need that man too. So, but it was a long, dirty win for us. It was supposed to be a shoe win.
So icky. All right, Truth. All right, Truth telling his truth. So are you a Trubisky truther real quick? Are you sounds like you believe him. It's just after that fourth quarter. I'm talking to you, Truth.
Oh, what?
I said, are you true? I said,
I heard lies from you. I only speak the truth. So
yeah, exactly. Truth. I'm asking you, are you a Trubisky truther? It sounds like you are. That fourth quarter got you. Oh, okay. Absolutely
no. It shows the path that we're going to be going down for the rest of the season. If we are struggling like that against the Lions, then I can't imagine what the rest.
Listen, I'd say the truth though. I'm the one that drafted Anthony Miller as a keeper for several years.
As facts.
As a rookie, in fact, yeah. So I don't know where you're coming off of saying this.
I didn't say I'm going to draft the players. I said that he's a receiver one for the Bears. Look at the team he's on. I ain't going near the Bears. I'm not going near Detroit. Like that, I'm good.
Yeah, I just like to just let the record show of your depth of truth here. So, secondly, when Robinson is being triple covered, as we saw, of course somebody else is going to be open.
Facts.
So
Facts.
I'm not taking shots at Anthony Miller. I'm saying he's a talented dude, But
real quick, I'm gonna put an asterisk in there too. That was their third stringer as well, as Coleman and
Correct.
Trufant both went down in the game.
Well,
So
Okuda wasn't even in there.
So just to kind of
So
say that was the
secondary
third
was
stringer.
suspect, and yeah,
So yes, praise. He made the play. No matter who you're up against, you got to make the play. So yes, 100%. There's some asterisks there, but go ahead, Porky, keep going.
so the hardest thing for me with Mitch is that I've seen time and time again where the dude looks solid in a 2-minute warning. That is so odd to me. How does a dude that looks so trash for 58 minutes or 56 minutes of a game can deliver the way he does in 2-minute warnings at times? Like, it just doesn't compute to me.
Yeah,
you know?
100%. I never got that too. DGB, I think you're about to say it. Go ahead.
well, yeah, it goes into because I had two things basically with watching this game. One was Detroit's defense shouldn't have looked as good as it did, but that's courtesy of Mitch missing some of those passes. But when it comes down to it with Mitch, I mean, from what we've seen in the hurry up offense, he's been able to, I don't know if it's processing more or, quicker, or he's just kind of going with the flow of things, but he's looked a lot more impressive, led some comebacks, but it always takes that pressure at the end of the game and then running that hurry up that also puts some stress on a defense as well, right? Can't really necessarily get off the field sometimes. So there is like a give and take. So my question is, do they try to run more hurry up offense, kind of go that quicker pace of play, to see if that gives Mitch a spark throughout the game, or does that kind of lean towards having quicker drives that end quicker, which then puts stress on the Bears defense?
Well, I don't know about that, because if you give them, that's giving Mitch all the power. So that's really trusting Mitch with like the offense. So,
but if you've seen it has worked, obviously a small sample size, but he's had his best success in hurry up offense.
I think that's the only reason it's worked is because it's a small sample size.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has the capability of expanding that throughout. So maybe Nagy just needs to trust Mitch a little bit more. Maybe because maybe Mitch is seeing things on the field that Nagy.
Finish that sentence.
What'd you say?
So finish that sentence.
I know. It's hard. I'm really trying to come up with something, but it's not coming, bro. I can't defend. I'm sorry. I just don't think he's capable of it. I'm sorry. I just don't think. I agree with you, Derek. 100% DGB. I 100% agree with you. If he's good at this small sample size, with it, from what we've seen through 2-minute offense, we've seen it time and time again. Matter of fact, the same exact play we saw against the Lions last Thanksgiving. In the 2-minute offense, Anthony Miller, Trubisky touchdown at the last second. Like to win the game. Like we've seen like there's multiple examples of it. But again, small sample size. I just don't think he has the capability of doing it long term.
But see, and
like of a whole game.
For a whole game, correct? Because I don't. When you're giving someone the reins to the offense, you're talking someone like Aaron Rodgers level. You know what I'm saying? Like someone who can read defense.
But it's the position. It's the position that inherently comes with those responsibilities, though. True. The quarterback is the one who's doing all of that. So it's like they've already put him in that position of power by making him the starter over Foles to start the season. So it's like, why not accentuate what you can? And if it doesn't work, then you pull it back, right? I mean, but at least like, again, small sample size, but it's like, he kind of hits some of those passes more in stride. It's like, I don't know, it's like every other time where he's had time behind the line, and you see the passes sail over, 2 yards or whatever, just out of the reach, or you have Jimmy Graham, mistiming a jump. So not necessarily that one on a Mitch, but, you kind of see some of those small mistakes that could go for bigger plays. That
throughout the whole
come fourth quarter, though, a lot of those disappear. So it's just something worth looking into, perhaps. I mean, because at this point, I can't take another 3 quarters of what we saw in the first 3.
Bro, I was so devastated, bro. I'm like, what are we looking at here? So my takeaways from the whole game up to the fourth quarter is like, what does this offense look like? Like, first of all, we got some questions on the defensive end. Like, we're missing Eddie Goldman. Adrian Peterson ran all over us, bros. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Let's again, game one, no preseason. Let's see how things work. But that defense, I thought, would look a lot more stout, especially against a Lions team without its star wide receiver.
Didn't have Robert Quinn, which
True.
opposite side for Khalil Mack, but up the middle, you got to see a little bit more support, even with Trevathan and Roquan then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to give the defense an asterisk for me, because when they continuously started off pretty solid and then your offense continuously does nothing, it is demoralizing. It's like, what are we playing for? Like, we're doing this again. I've seen this. I've been here. And going back to Mitch real fast, though, I've never questioned his competitive nature, because to do what you do in that hurry up says a lot about an individual's competitive nature, right? And then with that as well, it's hard to really let him carry an offense when he can't do that. But to me, it seems like you got to just kind of let him, right? You can't, no more coddling him. You got to say, listen, this is the year. Last shot. You, for everybody in that front, like, listen, you going to make this happen or not? I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to have. Was it 12? I don't want to have 96 more quarters of terrible Mitch and then the rest of that to make a decision. Like, no, we've seen a lot. We've seen enough.
So is that on Nagy then? That's not on Nagy. That's like, if they're giving him that leeway to run this team, run this offense, have that fastball that you play in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, like do that throughout the stretch of the game. Like he showed that he can't do that. So Nagy at the beginning of the game has him, like, he's coddling him, he's making sure he's doing what he's supposed to do. But then he'll go at the end of the fourth, towards the end of the game, and let him do his thing. And then that's when we see Mitch, be Mitch. It's not good. That's not good at all. That's what we're.
I feel you.
And then we saw that last year, and that's not going to work this year. Clearly, we barely won game one against the Lions. If that's how it's going to be for the remainder of the season, man, that record that we all projected for them, it's going to be way off.
How much of Mitch starting? How much of Mitch starting is really Nagy's confidence or pace saying, let's try to give him a little bit more? Because this is big for him.
This is his, right. This is his whole thing.
Yeah,
his biggest mistake, is glaring right into everyone's face. So it's like, this has to be Mitch's last chance. And if I don't know, it's just stringing together plays to get sustained drives too. It's like when they miss on some of those passes, that Mitch should hit. It's like the offense just is deflated. So it's just, man, it's tough to get it going.
No, complete facts.
And like Jay said, our defense is just like, what the hell? Like, we're back out here. Like, we got to get this ball back for the offense. That's not going to do anything. It's very deflated, dude. Yeah, for sure. So.
Man, it's deflating for the fans. What the hell are you guys talking about the defense and offense? Like, bro, I'm trying to have a good
I'm talking about myself. I'm like trying to watch it.
Bros, I'm watching all these other amazing ass games, and I'm like going back to our game. It's 6-6.
I wish I was on. Why can't we be those fans?
I'm like, Jesus. But I agree with everything that you guys said. Like, it is. Again, I don't know what this looks like. It goes back to what I just said a little bit earlier about what does our offense look like. I don't know what what's our identity? You know what I mean? Like, right. Are we going to focus on passing?
We didn't even touch on the running game at all.
The running game, yeah. So the running game was actually pretty good. The running game was pretty good.
At times.
At times, correct. Tariq Cohen looked pretty spry. Montgomery looked pretty good. I think Cordell Patterson had, four rushes or something like that. So he was a little bit
he
more
looked strong.
Yeah, coming out the
big
gate.
Dude.
And on the kick team, too, on the return team, kick return. So,
yeah. So, I mean, it looked – the run game was solid. It wasn't good enough to advance us far enough where we don't have to depend on Mitch as much. So, like, again, it's what are we looking like here? So I know we saw more tight ends. We saw more Jimmy Graham and Cole Kmet on the field at the same time, which way more. I don't want to say way more, but that's more 2 tight end sets than I believe was exhibited last year at this time. So we saw Jimmy Graham miss on a couple big plays, but I mean they looked okay. So I mean, again, I I don't know what this offense looks like. I don't know I have questions about the defense. I'm happy we got the dub for week 1, but
Right. Because without preseason, you're just straight into it. So there's a lot of learnings going on, and yeah, hopefully from week 1 there's some good takeaways.
Right now, let's see. I really want to see this next game against the Giants will show us what this defense is about, because we saw a great defense against them last night with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's see we'll see what we can do. We'll talk more about this our next spot, the next game, our next spot. But before we move on to the Bears, I do want to ask you guys real quick: is Allen Robinson a top 5 wide receiver in the league? Because DGB, I know, was that about a month ago, you did a little bit of some research and you compared like the wide receivers of the NFC North to all the rest of the conferences or divisions, I should say. And you came out with the wide receivers in the NFC North. Yes, we have Devontae Adams, but Allen Robinson is part of that top echelon, and us versus all the other divisions, we're pretty stacked, just because of those guys. So considering that, after doing that research, after seeing all of the hoopla on social media, I know you guys, have you guys seen it? Yeah, you guys have seen it, right? You guys seen Allen Robinson unfollow the Bears or unpost all of his Bears things.
Right.
Take
Change
the Bears
Twitter header.
out of his
Cut off.
Yeah,
Gone.
take the Bears out of his Twitter
Yep.
profile. Like, it's 2020. This means big things. So my original question is: Allen Robinson a top 5 wide receiver? Reason why I asked that is, should the Bears extend this man, or should we trade him? Go for it. I don't care who's up.
I don't know if I can say top 5. I'd definitely say top 10 though, for sure.
I'll second that.
For years of picking A-Rob up in my fantasy league under another terrible offensive regime, I was the beneficiary and whatever the inverted beneficiary is of the play there in Jacksonville with bad quarterbacking, right? And the dude, he's so talented and he gives everything. And for what he's done in 2 offensive systems with not good quarterbacks, if he would have end up in a situation where he would have a good system, good offensive quarterback, he might end up top 5. And that's going to be more system driven at that point. But as a talent, 100% top 10. So pay that man for sure.
I just second that. Yeah. Get that man paid. We keep our wide receiver number 1, but he's not top 5 in the league. That's for sure. He's top 10 for me, I would say. But I mean, he also.
Okay. Before DGB, before you give your answer, you guys both say top 10. What receivers do you guys have above Robinson?
You got Julio, Hopkins, Devontae, Mike Evans. I would put over him because his size and whatnot.
He looked so bad too this year.
Only because Robinson is more versatile. I mean, Mike Evans is more deadly with some of that, like the go routes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it can burn you. But I think consistently in the game, I think Allen Robinson's it's close.
Yeah, and he was a gunslinger with Mariota, anyways too. So then you got
Mariota.
I mean, that was a bad one. Winston.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, okay.
And
You said Michael Thomas, right? Obviously.
Michael Thomas, as we missed.
Thomas is up there. You missed him?
No, I think we didn't say Michael
No,
Thomas.
Yeah, we didn't say him.
Yeah, Julio, Devontae, Tyreek Hill, Michael Thomas, and who's
D-Hop.
and D-Hop. Okay,
Hopkins.
so that's our top 5. That's pretty consensus.
And
You
I
can
would
easily put him at like 6 or 7.
Okay,
100% agreed.
Yeah.
I think his ceiling would be 5. Could be 5 in something that is a more adequate, quarterback situation for sure.
Exactly.
Like if he were paired up with a stronger partner, he just does a lot of things so well that in this Bears offense, he's still top 10 then, and it's like that's saying something that the Bears haven't had in quite a long time. So it's like it make sense, get some money in there and let's go.
No, I agree. If the
Get
Rams,
this man paid. focus on him. Make sure we don't lose our wide receiver one because we've been focusing way too much on our QB, and we're about to lose this man who's disconnecting himself from the team already to someone like Belichick, who, obviously, like that's a system.
Do you honestly think Belichick is going to come in and Debo?
What hasn't Belichick done? What hasn't he done?
Well, possibly though, man. Because was it a player on the Bears that would tweeted something trying to get Cam? It might be just a while ago. I don't know if it was on the Bears or
there was talks when he was free agent.
Yeah, something. Yeah, but with that, right? If Robinson is looking at that situation and saying, okay, we got Foles now, which means they're looking for another quarterback. Foles is a career backup that's going to nurture the next QB that comes in. Do I want to waste the rest of my career here knowing that we might be good when I'm towards the back end and then they might trade me because they don't want to pay me anymore, So let me go now with Cam that's looking he may think he's looking pretty good. I don't know. He rushed 15 times for 75 yards. He didn't have a phenomenal passing game, but I mean, Cam is just a freak.
Great on my fantasy
nature. Yeah, Cam but they don't.
Cam or Trubisky? Cam or Trubisky?
Cam.
Okay, but hold on.
I would have ran it with Cam.
So I like Cam. Okay, the thing is, he doesn't fit the system for me. So it's to build around him. It doesn't make sense.
Worse than Mitch, or
I was about to say, does Mitch fit the system?
No, but Foles fits the system.
Okay.
So the next QB that they're going to bring is going to be like that. No, Foles is trash. I mean, hey, I would have taken Winston.
So we're talking no rushing yards. We're talking somebody that is just slightly more accurate in the pocket.
Yeah, out of all the quarterbacks, if we were in a new situation, if the situation wasn't what it was, I would have taken Cam. But for our specific situation, I was like, yo, I hope they draft Winston. That's what I was hoping for.
Okay. Well, speaking of Cam, Patriots got the dub. Well, before we move on, anything else that you guys want to talk about the Bears? We'll talk about the next.
Well, I was just going to say real quick with the contract thing with Allen Robinson, because what we were saying we had texted about, and it was when Cooper Kupp got his new deal, and now he's making basically $16 million a season per season, and that's currently 12th overall in average annual value for wide receivers. Allen Robinson is right now at the end of his deal, it's $14 million, so he's at 16th. But once you get up into that, maybe 7, 6, 7, 8 range for top contracts, and it's about $18 million. So would you say that Allen Robinson is worth $2 million more per season than someone like Cooper Kupp?
I would personally. You see what?
And think about it this way too: that the Rams have salary cap constrictions on them, and it's like the Bears have some of that, but not as bad. So it's like they could theoretically get away with paying, in that kind of range. And I think that would be fair. But
yeah, and I'm pulling this up now. It looks like annually, Evans is getting 16.5. Cooks is getting 16.2. Odell.
Yeah, but these are all older
Tyreek
deals.
18.
So each year with the salary cap going up, those will be bumped up too.
Well, that's why I would pay him 25 with that.
25.
I pay with everybody else going in. Yeah,
more than Julio Jones money.
Yeah, and Julio's he's at the back end of his career. He might get another signing after that, But Allen Robinson is 25? 27, 28? Yeah, he's 27 right now. You pay that man until he's 31, 4-year contract, and knowing that you keep him happy, then you get him a discount later because he got paid and he's a little bit older.
The thing is, this man doesn't even.
I don't think it'll take 25 a year though.
Yeah, no. We don't know if we're gonna have pace next year. He doesn't know if it's gonna be a new playbook that he's even gonna like to play in next year. There's just so much things that he has to take in consideration as a player as well, knowing what he's already been through with the Bears. It's just do I even want to go do that again? So it's we all as fans are yeah, give this man the money, but even offered, will he take it or offer something better from someone else or equal to what we're offering from another team? Then he's gone, So.
Right,
all
you
of
might
that
have seen enough.
Falls on some management at that point then, and Mitch. So
I don't know so yes, we got the dub. Has this made you guys feel any better about the Bears season? Yes or no? Just quick. Yes or no?
No.
Quick,
Hell
you got it.
no.
Hell
Big
no.
it for you.
All right.
Nope.
What about the rest of the NFL? Like I said, there's a glorious weekend. So
Beautiful.
Kansas City looked great. Who else looked great? Baltimore Ravens were really good. Like really
just
good.
keeping the train moving.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson, sheesh.
That's my quarterback.
The Saints look good, even with
Saints.
Michael Thomas getting kind of or doing nothing and then kind of getting hurt at the end.
But
that was kind of garbage time.
Drew Brees did not look like Drew Brees. He
in the beginning, second half,
but they were still putting up. Yeah, and they were still putting up big points on a Tampa Bay defense that has a really good front seven. True. You know, like their defense, and I mean, even their corners. Sean Murphy Bunting, he's like in his second year. He's improved. I have him on one of my other IDP leagues, so that's why I know that kind of dumb stuff. But basically, you know, it's like that offense wasn't fully in tune, maybe, and they were still pretty impressive against that Tampa Bay team. So
I was like, "Yo, is Breeze feeling like starstruck right now? Like, because T. Brady's on the sideline, but he looked and saw that Belichick wasn't there. He's like, oh, we're good." And they felt like the Saints again, so like they tore it up after that. Kamara, Breeze got Sanders involved in that game. Finally, it was good. It was a really good game too.
That was a good game. That was a really good one. Cowboys looked like crap. I'm not gonna lie, they didn't really look too well. How are the Cowboys America's team? When did that, like, who decided that? Like,
because Cowboys and Indians in the history books shows that Cowboys are victorious. So that's pretty much what it was there.
Gotcha.
Was I the only one that was thrown off though when I was looking doing my weekly picks and I saw a W and it said football team and I'm like, who is this on Yahoo?
The Washington football team.
The football team, yeah.
The football
was labeled.
Just W.
Let's take a second here. Who is the only one in our pick'em to go with that Washington football team?
This is
the dub for the Dubs.
That front seven is deadly.
And Philly, well, it was more that Philly's offensive line is decimated right now. Lane Johnson, he's like a Pro Bowler, left guard, he's out. Jason Peters, like, it was basically hanging on, but like they also lost two of their offensive linemen from the season, so it was like, they were hurting.
They were.
They might be the sleepers this year, man. I saw the energy that they had after like they put themselves back into the game against the Eagles on the bench. I saw the energy. I'm like, oh, these dudes are ready to play. They're about to win this match. I'm like, fuck, I chose the wrong team. Like,
I'm not going that far.
Yeah, I mean,
I will support them because of Ron Rivera. I like Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera is a great leader, great person. I'm going to support him, and although I don't know what's going to happen in Washington, but hey.
Yeah, no,
I'm Washington or Jacksonville.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Let's get into the end of the show. Before we end off, yes, NFL was glorious. It was absolutely beautiful. But the NBA playoffs are still here. Hey, I like how like the NBA was on every single day leading up to the NFL, and then NFL took over and said, "Nah, you can sit back down.
I'm the captain now."
Right? Remember who runs this ish. So yeah, NBA's back today. NBA playoffs. You got a game 7, which who knew? Clippers and Nuggets. Porky
knew.
That guy.
Porky.
He's like,
Porky knew. So I ask you guys tonight, game 7, big game. Will Kawhi lead his team? The last time he was in a game 7, he had 41 points, led him to the dub. What do you guys think this time?
Same damn thing. With a little assistance from PG, not too much. PG might be silent, but it's going to be – nope. It's going to be Lou Will, baby, the sixth guy.
Ooh.
Sixth guy, Lou Will. And Kawhi are going to do what they got to do to get this championship or get to the next round. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, listen.
Porky, I want to save you for last, Porky. Go ahead.
I was like, no, let this man correct him because he's been correct. But I mean, for me, the Clippers, they should win this game, right? I mean, with the star power, payroll, all that kind of hype and being the favorites basically coming into the playoffs for the bubble, you would think that you would see them respond. But they had that chance to do it in game 6 and couldn't get it done.
Facts.
So I'm really, really close. But I think the Clippers will pull it off, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if it went the other way either.
All right. Now I want to hear from the man that had the Denver Nuggets making it all the way to the finals. What you got, Porky? Who got the game 7?
Okay, Jim, we got a good matchup. All right, so the Nuggets. The reason why the Nuggets and the Jazz was such a good matchup because Jamal Murray was able to step up. Right, that's not necessarily how they ran their system throughout the entire year, but Jamal Murray stepped up, and it was a Murray Mitchell show. Right, so going into the Clippers series, it was a shock. And it was like, wait a minute, he got one of the best defenders, if not the best defender in the league on him now, right? And shut him down. What are we gonna do? So they went back to what they did. This is why coaching still matters, and they're running it through Jokic. When you run through him, he spreads the floor, and he is such a versatile big man, which the Clippers do not have, which is why it's hurting them now. And Michael Porter Jr. Ever since they isolated him after that isolated comment, he's been pivotal for them in some key points. So I got a 1-point game right now to the Nuggets. 1.5. I don't want to stretch my luck.
I'm actually gonna go with Porky on this one. The Clippers they fell apart. I think the Nuggets
Right.
they feel like we've been here before. Let's take it. So let's go. And plus, the NBA really wants to give LeBron another ring. So
See, also, it's like Jamal Murray's had the type of playoffs where it's kind of been reminiscent of like D Wade when he was there, when they made their run with him and Shaq. I mean, obviously as a rookie and all that's different, and it was more impressive because they went all the way and all that, but there's still time for that. But it's like the impressive like performance of like Jamal Murray's been not a star necessarily, but like each round of the playoffs he's come to play and he's been a star. So it's like kind of a coming out party of sorts, and that's it's been really, really impressive to see.
fire.
We got a game 1 too.
Yeah, game 1. Oh, and then game
Celtics.
1.
You want to put it past Doc Rivers though too? Really? Like it's a close match. You said 1, maybe 1.5. What like?
Listen,
Then it comes down to coaching too. Like
Paul George has the same track record of Chris Paul though, so that's another.
Hey, this is true. Very
Ooh.
true. Very, very true. Then you got Miami, Boston.
Shots fired.
Miami, Boston, game 1. Who you guys got taking a series? Celtics has looked pretty damn amazing. With that,
Get the brooms out.
You sweep,
Get the brooms out.
Celtics sweep. Okay.
Yep.
Sweeping the team that has been sweeping everybody else.
Yep.
good times,
Mhm.
Tom.
Truth. Who you got? Truth. You can tell the truth on this.
Yeah, I mean Boston. Boston, for sure. Yeah.
I'm the only one that has Miami taking this. This is crazy.
Yeah, Heroes Cape's about to get
Yo,
wrapped up.
Miami beat the number 1 overall team. The number 1 overall team in the NBA. Y'all saying sweep?
Yeah, but okay, this is what I'll say though about that is obviously I was like saying the Bucks, this was their year, but I was more so paying mind to like how I charted out that versus watching them play. And if you just watch them play, you could see that they weren't going to win the championship this year.
Okay.
So like somebody like trusting your eyes and seeing how the teams play, like Miami's been on fire, but so is Boston. And I think Boston is, I'd have to look, but I thought I heard something where they've been just on defensive like fire as well, so it's like they have
Miami,
multiple capable people, but I don't think it'll be a sweep, but I think it'll be maybe a 4-2.
4-2. Yeah.
Like that.
Yep. 4-2.
I got 4-2 the other way. I got Miami going to the finals this year, but we'll see.
Both defensive teams.
We'll see.
Both
All
defensive
right, so
teams.
next time when we come back, our next pod, we'll definitely bring back He's on Fire. But to end off, Truth, Porky, anyone, DGB, you guys got anything to say? Anything you want to bring up?
I'm good.
Yes, I would like to say something.
Hey, take the floor, Porky.
All right. Well, in the midst of 2020, the thing is that people say a lot of stupid things, and I'd like to just call out all my people here for saying I was saying stupid things going with Denver. When you're gonna come at and bring some smoke, and you're just gonna say it's preposterous, someone's gonna learn, someone's gonna learn. So I just like to say to the squad, that was an L for y'all, okay?
Okay.
He said, "Put some respect on my fucking name."
Chart it.
He pulled the Dame on it. All right, let's go, Porky. Let's go.
Fire. All right. Well,
Love
this has been a dope episode, guys. Good pod. For all of our listeners on YouTube, subscribe, like us. Hey, this is kind of getting. I should have said this earlier. Hey, you just subscribe, like us, say something in the comments. Talk to us. And then for those that want to listen to an actual podcast, you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And then we're also like on YouTube and not YouTube. We're also on what is it? Instagram, Twitter. There's so much. Just look up DaSquad Chicago. You'll find us. But dope. This was great. This was a great pod. Really good. Really good to see you guys.
Fire.
Really good for football.
Definitely.
Really happy. Next pod we'll probably talk about Bears versus Giants, but we'll see about that. All right, guys. Peace out.
This is Squad.
Take it easy.